Hey guys, what's going on? So in this video, I want to talk to you about some of the most frequently asked questions I get on just PvP in general. A lot of it has to deal with Druid, but there are some more basic generic tips in here for all classes. Plus a lot of the Druid stuff you can kind of take in regard to whatever class you plan on playing come classic launch. So as the PvP system isn't in at launch, and it's actually in phase 2. A lot of things that I'll be referencing are in phase 2 and phase 3. But as Blizzard has already stated, obviously you can kill people out in the world in phase 1. It's just not going to count towards honor gained. All right, so let's get right into things. One of the most common questions that I get asked is about Druid macros. I use very few macros personally, and the reason for that is the more macros that you have, the more keybinds that you'll need. I really like having keybinds for potions, first aid, consumables, and other on-use items so that I don't have to click on them, and that already takes up a lot of action bars. My suggestion is just to keep macros to a minimum. Form canceling macros for Druid obviously are very nice to have, but you can definitely get carried away with having too many macros for, niche situations where you're not going to use that very often, or, you get used to using, one hotkey for shifting and then you always forget about your other, power shifting macro that you might have. So to me, a lot of macros just makes PvP more challenging in the end. All right, so let's talk about flag carrying now. So flag carrying won't matter until phase 3 when Warsong Gulch is added into the game, but I'll cover it briefly anyways because I get so many questions on it. I personally hate to carry the flag in Warsong Gulch. It's just a personal preference. I'm not really into that kind of gameplay. I like to be, in the action and be either healing people or fighting. Just running isn't super exciting for me. It's definitely not for everyone, but however, it is associated with Druids. Druids and flag carrying are kind of synonymous when it comes to PvP. However, on launch, I plan to rank in phase 2 solely with world PvP. Obviously, that's our only option in phase 2. And then hopefully by phase 3, obviously depending on how long phase 2 lasts, I'll only need a few more ranks. And then in phase 3, I'll be probably doing those first few weeks in Alterac Valley, as I need to get reputation with Alterac Valley for the rewards anyways. So it could turn out that I don't do any ranking in Warsong Gulch, or it could be that it's my last few weeks is Warsong Gulch. However it turns out, I definitely am up to flag carrying for groups. It's definitely more enjoyable to flag carry for a set pre-made than just a random group of people. But still, like I said, at the end of the day, it's just not really like my cup of tea. So if you do enjoy flag carrying, or you are wanting to set yourself up for success within a group, it's going to be something that you need to understand that you need to get a lot of consumables. So you have consumables for all of your flag carrying runs. You're going to want to have your Furblog medicine pouch farmed for. You're going to want to complete your Skull of Impending Doom quest, and probably pick up Nifty Stopwatch as well. Flag running in Warsong Gulch can be really spendy at the end of the day, and people need to understand that this isn't a private server that has a vendor that sells all of the different consumables that you want for no charge. So this is something that you're going to have to take into account, especially when you're farming, battlegrounds all day long for your ranks. You probably don't have that much extra time for farming consumables or gold to buy those consumables. So that's something that you're going to have to take account for and probably work on that in phase 1 when you have the time. So phase 2, like a lot of people know, is world PvP. It's only world PvP, and that's what it's going to be. So a lot of people probably have the question of, who should I play with? Should I play with a huge raid group? Should I play with a few individuals? And so that's what I'm going to cover here. I would suggest a duo PvP team. The great thing about Druids is that they fit with most players. I would stay away from playing with warriors, as you don't have a magic dispel, and that's pretty crucial in world PvP. I think the strongest 3 duos would be a mage and a druid, a warlock and a druid, or a rogue and a druid. Warlock obviously has magic dispel and a CS with their pet, and both Warlock and Druid have great survivability and synergy, so that's probably my top pick. However, Rogue and Druid is obviously a lot of fun because you both have stealth, and this opens up a lot of possibilities for both of you. This enables you to have great camping areas such as the entrance to Dire Mall and also Blackrock Mountain entrance, because you can let like the large groups go by and only open up on smaller individuals or small groups. This small player size is obviously going to work really well in phase 2 because honor gains decrease with the more and more people in your party and the more and more people that helped you kill that individual. So if you have a huge raid running around killing people, you're going to be getting very, very little honor. Whereas if you're kind of like a killing squad of just a few people, that's going to probably be most advantageous for you. Another question that I get asked a lot about is downranking spells, specifically downranking heals in PvP. So I personally only downrank Healing Touch in PvP. I obviously have rank 3 and rank 4 on my bars, as well as the top rank, which obviously depends on whether or not the books from AQ are out, which will determine your highest rank. So I always use full ranks of Rejuvenation and Regrowth. Some players enjoy downranking those spells, but I personally do not. The only time I downrank that would be rank 1, and I'll discuss that in a second. So I always rank 1 of Moonfire and Rejuve hotkeyed, and this is really important for fights with classes that have magic dispels. This will help you waste, the Fell Hunter's dispel, or it'll make a priest waste their mana on offensive and defensive dispelling. And this obviously helps you not waste important mana on these abilities, because the rank 1 is just so ineffective, so cheap in mana. It's obviously ineffective, but you're not looking for it to do damage, or you're not looking for it to heal you a lot. It's more the fact that most priests and warlocks will instantly dispel that when they see the Rejuve animation on your character. I used to have a rank 1 Roots and a rank 1 Hibernate on my bars. However, I didn't use them pretty much ever, and so I removed those. Some people enjoy downranking other heals like Rejuve and Regrowth. I just don't really use them that much, aside from rank 1 Rejuve, like I said. Alright, so downranking discussed, let's talk about the PvP system. So the PvP system in Classic WoW, especially the ranking system, is known to be, a huge grind, a big time sink, and very unforgiving. And all these things are true. So for most classes, what you need to do going into Classic WoW is determine whether ranking to any certain rank is a good idea. And oftentimes the best thing for you to do is just set a goal, a realistic goal of where you think you can rank to, what you have time to put in to ranking, and where you'd like to land. Some people are happy with the full set of blue gear at rank 10. Some people are okay with just like a 4-piece at rank 8. The list goes on. Some people want to get the mount at rank 11, and some people are going to go all the way to 14. Now, there are a lot of classes actually in the game that don't benefit from the PvP gear as much as people would like to assume. So, for example, if you're planning on playing a priest and all you want to do is heal, then I wouldn't even bother ranking. Ranking for you is pretty much useless, as the gear that you get is specifically for Shadow. I guess it would be for, farming out in the world too. You could use it to help, your farm times, but in general, you're better off just with tier 2 and tier 3 for healing. Now, if you want to be able to farm with Shadow and stuff like that, you can also just use tier 2.5, or you can use some dungeon pieces. And that's obviously an option. The only reason I would ever rank as a priest is if you are wanting to play as a Shadow Priest in any capacity throughout the game. And obviously, if you're just going to PvP here and there, the blue set is probably good enough in that regard. I know I'm kind of rambling about the different PvP rewards, but that's kind of what you need to do, is look at it from a class standpoint and see if it even is worth your time. A lot of the classes that really want to rank are the different melee classes, as the weapon rewards are extremely good, especially earlier on in the game. So those are just things that you have to look at with regards to the honor system. You know, if you can put the time in, does your class need to put the time in, and just kind of where you fit into the whole, you know, PvP scenario. PvP is obviously very fun, and you can PvP to your heart's content without ever, you know, really wanting any other rewards. All right, guys, but that's just kind of like an overview of some of the questions that I get asked about PvP a lot. Hope this video was informative. Hope you guys liked it. It's something a little bit different, just trying to answer some of the community's questions. But yeah, guys, I will hopefully see you tomorrow. And, you know, thanks for watching.